Alright guys, here I am. I'm doing an updated profile of my Secret Beast for Duel Masters. I found I've been testing this deck a lot, and then I noticed from the previous deck profile I did in my channel, I had some issues, mostly considering the consistency, drawing, some brick cards at times, and at times I would draw pretty bad. Like, I kept losing out of duels because of that, just not drawing the right cards. So I just thought about what was missing is more consistency, more draw power, really what this deck needs. So I modified this deck a bit more, and honestly, it's been running really great. I've been so far winning a lot of matches in gold, and it's been doing well. I mean, this is my updated profile version of it. So as before, we're playing the 3 Chaos Summoning Beast. The Fiend monster of the deck, level 1. 2 Max C's. I'm just playing 2 Max C's. For this version, for this deck profile, you just need 2 Max C's. I think 2 is good enough. Not necessarily need 3. 3 Dark Beckoning Beast. The Searcher of the deck. Pretty much search any Sacred Beast card from the deck to the hand. And the 3's Dark Summoning Beast. So we're playing the 3 ratio of the Fiends for Sacred Beast. I think that's a perfect ratio. You need these 3 for your combo plays. I think the 3-3-3 ratio is perfect. And then for the Sacred Beast itself, obviously we're playing the 2 Haman and the 2 Raphael. Those 2 of these. We're not playing Uriah. We're not playing the fusions of these Sacred Beasts because we're playing Skill Drain in this deck, and that fusion will be useless if we're playing Skill Drain on the field, fortunately. These are pretty much just 4,000 beast sticks. Once you have Skill Drain activated, they just become 4,000 beast sticks. I mean, their effects are pretty I mean, Haman has a decent effect. When it's face up in defense mode, your opponent can only target that monster, this card for attacks. So it's not too bad. But obviously, if you have Skill Drain, that's not really gonna matter. So we're playing the 2-2 ratio for Sacred Beast here. And then we're playing one other, the Golden Lord. This card works really well in this deck. You're always going to have cards in your hand to use this effect to pop stuff on the field, because you'll be drawing a lot of cards with Fallen Paradise. So, not only that, if you want to get rid of Skill Drain because you need to do more combo plays, if your opponent somehow manages to get rid of your board without destroying Skill Drain, which is possible, you can use this card's effect to get rid of Skill Drain on your field, and then go for your combo plays again. So it just works really well in this deck. Then play the Foolish. It helps you dump Eldek to the graveyard, or you dump Dark Summoning Beast to the graveyard to search for one of your 2 Sacred Beasts. Do your combo plays. So 1 Foolish Bird is definitely a must. 1 Lord Darkness, all you need. I just played 1 of because you really don't want to be banishing your Fiend monsters, really. You kind of want these for your combo plays, really. So, but it helps. In certain situations, if you have to use this card, it helps. But just really it has been when we found 1 for 1 to bring out your Chaos Summoning Beast. Works really well in this deck. And then we're playing 3 Pot of Desires for draw power. Really want that draw power in this deck. If you're going first, you might not draw the best hand. This card can let you draw those 2 cards that you really need, or maybe just 1 card that you need to go for your combo plays. It has helped me so many times going first and drawing to this card. Like I said, this deck has issues with consistency, and Pot of Desire fixes that issue. And then we're going pretty crazy in this deck too. We're also playing 3 Pot of Prosperity, so we're playing 6 pots in this deck. Like I explained in my last video of this deck profile, we're playing Pot of Prosperity because we want to turbo out Skill Drain as soon as possible. We need Skill Drain in this deck. This is the whole purpose of this deck, is to bring out Skill Drain as fast as possible, because Skill Drain is like one of the best cards you can play in this format right now. It shuts down so many decks. You play this card and hope you reveal the top 6 cards from the top of your deck, and hopefully you can draw into the Skill Drain. Or if you need to hopefully search one of your combo pieces, like one of your specific Fiend monsters, stuff like that. or even your Imperial Order. I'm also running Imperial Order too. This deck is pretty much straight up anti-meta, so controlling the field with anti-meta effects, I guess, aka floodgate effects, floodgates. This card is definitely a must. Prosperity. I mean, so now that I have this ratio of 3/3 pots in my deck, I have noticed a lot more consistency in this deck, and it's working really well. So this is how I'm keeping it for now. Yeah. So then we're playing one Fallen Paradise for now. I was running at 2, but I'll explain why I chose to bring it down to 1 in a bit. But for now, I'm still on the fence of keeping this at 1, and we're like having 2 at times in case one gets destroyed. I mean, it's a fantastic field spell, one of the best ever made in the whole game of Yu-Gi-Oh! I mean, it's basically a pot of greed each turn. On top of that, it offers protection for your sacred beasts from card effects or being destroyed by card effects or being targeted. So it's really amazing card. And then we're playing one Silver Skyfire. It's a once per turn negate Shein effect. Negate one spell and trap card. Only if you control the Haman. And then we're playing the 3 opening of Spirit Gates. Let's just search out for one of your Sacred Beast cards. 2 for playing droplets. Just 2 has been working really well. Like I said, a lot of times you'll be having a lot of face-up cards on the field. Other cards in your hands. This card is reliable to stunning your opponent's monster effects on their turn. They're trying to go for combo play. You can disrupt it with this card. It works really well. So like I said, this deck's all about anti-meta, stunning your opponent. This card adds to it. It stuns your opponent's place. And don't forget, this card also halves the monster effects too. Not only does it negate, it halves their attack pretty well. So you can play around with that effect too. Basically, a shrink with steroids on it. But we're also playing a new addition in this deck, which also correlates to why I'm playing One Fallen Paradise, and that is to make room for the evenly matched so far. The one thing about this deck is Ash Blossom. You go first, you don't normally go first, and you normally play your Dark Beckoning Beast. But if your opponent has, Effect Veiler or Ash Blossom, and they get the effect, well, what can you do now? Well, this is where this card comes in handy. Evenly Match. It's an amazing going first card. We can't do much because your opponent, Max C. I mean, I have Max C too. Max C or Effect Veilers you or Ash Blossoms you. This is a great, way to get out of that situation. Because on the following turn, your opponent's gonna go all out. And once they do, and they'll run over your Dark Summoning Beast. And I'm just giving a specific example. They'll run over your Dark Summoning Beast during the end of the battle phase. As long as they don't want to kill you, though. At the end of the battle phase, you activate this card, and you just get rid of everything they just basically establish. This card just really helps this deck, compete in the meta. Like, if your opponent has managed to disrupt your combo plays, I mean, what else can you do? And this card really helps, give this deck, a second option to at least do something to get rid of your opponent's, field rather than do nothing. Because that's the worst thing you can do. You summon your, like for example, your Dark Beckoning Beast, and it gets this effect negated. You don't want to end your turn like that with just a monster not be able to do much the next turn. I just have something that can, disrupt your opponent or combat their play. So even the match works perfectly with that. It's a great hand trap card, and so far it's been working really well. And or maybe I'm maybe thinking. So I was thinking maybe I drop 1, put second Fallen Paradise. But for now, I'm keeping it at 3. It's been running pretty good like that. So even the match at 3 because it helps really, combat your opponent. And then of course playing 1 Imperial Order, it just shuts down so many decks. It's like it has won me so many good games. Especially Pendulum decks. If you're going against a Pendulum deck, it's GG. They can't do much. So a lot of times this is an auto win card. And of course the best track card in the game. The skill drain at 3. 3 skill drains because it's a must. It's all about getting your monster effects. Doesn't matter if your monster effects are negative, because this deck strategy is all about summoning your Sacred Beast, even the other Golden Lord, and they're all gonna be beast decks. That's what matters. Having high beat sticks in this deck. So we're playing 3 skill drains. I mean, the card is pretty self-explanatory. And then of course playing 2 Awakening the Sacred Beast is another form of skill drain for this deck, but only if you control 2 Sacred Beasts with different names on the field. So you have 1 Haman and 1 Raphael on the field, which you normally tend to do half anyway, so it's a pretty liable effect. But don't forget, this card has a 4th effect that I used to forget it even has, and that's it. Once per turn, if you control a level 10 monster, you can add 1 continuous tracker from your graveyard to your hand, which is really helpful in case your opponent manages to restore skill drain or Imperial Order. You happen to drop this card, set it, then activate it next turn. You can't skill drain back. Now you have 2 skill drains, or you can add Imperial Order. So that's pretty good. I mean, this card has 4 effects. It's pretty crazy. I didn't even realize it has 4 effects. I always thought it had just 3 effects. But I wish I also had space for this. For this 1 card too. It's also called Foolish Warrior Goods. Yeah, Foolish Warrior Goods, I believe it's called. That one's basically the opposite effect of Foolish Burial. Instead of sending 1 monster to the graveyard, you send 1 spell trap card to the graveyard. So I thought about that, and working in conjunction with this, you can potentially send skill drain from the deck or Imperial Order to the deck to the graveyard, and then activate this effect to add skill drain or Imperial Order. So it's a way of searching Imperial Order or skill drain. Though it's a bit slow because you have to set the this card. So otherwise it's not too broken, but it works. Just the issue is I don't have space to run 1 Foolish Brew Goods. Maybe I can try to make a space for 1 copy. Like I just don't know what to take out. I mean, the 3 pots just works really well, and or maybe I can take on 1 evenly match. I like running 3 of these though. It's really hard to say, but that's also an option. You guys may can figure it out. But or maybe I'll figure it out later on. But so far this deck has been working perfectly well. I've been winning a lot of matches in gold, and it's just great. I'm just happy I finally found a really solid Sacred Beast deck. I mean, by no means this is not a tier 1, tier 2, tier 3 deck, but I wouldn't. It wouldn't be so far-fetched to say that this deck is rogue, just because of 3 skill drains, obviously. And then for the extra deck, that doesn't really matter. Man, the only priority one is the mandatory one is the Settlement Almirage. Just make sure you have 1 copy for your commonplace with the little things here. But other than that, you can play whatever you want, really. Like, doesn't really matter. You play a lot of those generic link monsters, And he's just here just because he's here. I mean, I don't play the fusion mechanic, but I need cards in my extra deck regardless, because we're playing Pot of Prosperity. So as long as you have one Settlement Great Amarage, never banish this card from using Pot of Prosperity because you need this card for place. And that gives me Nightmare Phoenix, is pretty helpful too. Other than that, you can play whatever you want from the extra deck. But yeah, this is my version of my updated version of Sacred Beast. It runs a lot more consistent, better than the previous one I made. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Thank you.